Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Rick Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, Larry W. Brooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network Live. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this Thursday, just like we are every week at this time here for Prime Real Estate Network Live. And I want to invite everyone that's checking out the live stream on YouTube and Facebook to get involved in today's episode. You can leave myself or this week's guest a relevant real estate question in the comment section, and you never know, we may very well have an opportunity to answer your question on today's show. I want to give a huge shout out to the Brooks and Davis real estate team. Huge shout out to our super producer, Jay Joseph, behind the scenes, bringing this live stream to you all just like she does every week on Thursday here on Prime Real Estate Network. I want to give a huge shout out to the team over here at the Prime Real Estate Network, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and CEO Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis, man, because we have a really, really exciting show planned for you all. And I'm urging everyone to share this episode, like this episode, let everyone know, because today's episode is one that myself and the entire team is really, really excited about. So I want to take some time to introduce this week's guest. You may have seen her here in the city of Houston because she's a very well-known figure here in the real estate space. She's a real estate broker. She is a master realtor. She's a motivator. She's an inspiration. She's a trainer. But she is also a star on the OWN Network's hit reality series, Family Empire Houston. I want to thank her so much for carving some time out of her busy schedule to sit in on the show this week. And I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Miss Jermeshia Goudeau. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing, Mr. Davis?
It's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much, Queen, for sitting in with us this week, man.
Absolutely.
I was really excited to have this conversation with you. But first things first, how is everything with you? How is everything in the market here in Houston? Just catch our audience up. What's been going on in your world over at the Braden Real Estate Group?
Let me tell you, this is a great time to be a realtor. And the reason why is because a lot of the realtors who are not accustomed to the pre-COVID market, yes, they're getting out of the industry. So those realtors who are all about getting down to the basic, that understand the business and understand the sales process and understand the industry. It's less people in our way that we can create our own lane to be successful. During the COVID market, it was realtors everywhere. Social media glamorized the industry. And so now that a lot of people have transitioned out of the industry, it's a great opportunity for you to be able to put yourself out there, to be able to allow your expertise to shine. So there's a lot of great things going on.
I really appreciate you sharing that message, because to so many of newer agents, those that are 1 or 2 years in the industry, a lot of the things that they have encountered may seem like perceived challenges. But you and I both know with a certain amount of years, especially in this industry, with those challenges come opportunities.
Yes, it does.
So with your team and the people that you mentor, what are some of the areas, especially here locally in Houston, have you started to concentrate towards? Is there certain products or there certain areas that you feel like are more opportunistic for those that are really striving for success in this game?
So I think you have to kind of look at certain, we're all about at Braden, and just at Braden, we talk about the different pillars of income. And so we really focus on having 4 pillars of income. And the reason you want to have 4 pillars of income is because there's a lot of things out there that we have no control over. We don't have control over the interest rates. We don't have control over the inventory. We don't have control of the presidential, who's the president. Okay. We don't have control of just those things that are going on in the industry. So if we focus on one lane, that if you focus on that one lane and something completely out of your control takes that away, including social media. We've seen where everybody was scrambling over, TikTok going away. So if you focus all of your energy and time into one pillar of income or one lane of your business, and that one pillar is removed, then you're left scrambling. So we talk about having those different pillars of income. So I'm not going to talk about just one lane because we talk about having at minimum 4 that we really hone in, lean into those different lanes, and we really create strategies around those 4 pillars of our business. And so what we're seeing now, we got to take advantage of, like a few months back, all this talk about NAR commissions and all of that was going on. But now we have, we're speaking about the local Houston market. We have lots of inventory. Commission is not an issue. We're not seeing that as the challenge that everybody was, when these lawsuits were happening, that it might be once the market kind of shifts back to a seller's market. But right now, that's not an issue for us. It's tons of inventory. So new construction has been a way that, especially with Brayton, we build a lot of great relationship with new construction builders, developers, production builders, and also infill builders, because we're really great at marketing their products. And understanding their needs for their business model. We also have really great relationship with lenders. And you talked about that. When you work with lenders, I understand having your favorite lender that always bringing lunch, sponsoring your events, but you have to diversify your lenders because one lender is not going to do the job for all of your clients. When I got into the industry, it was by one or two kind of clients. They all worked. They had been 30 years at the post office. They was on their jobs, work at Shell, one of the oil and gas companies. They worked in the plants, So everybody was on their jobs for, 20 years. They've been on their jobs, for a long period of time. They had the job security wasn't an issue. As things have shifted, entrepreneurship, gig culture, all those things, we're seeing, millionaires buying luxury real estate, from being an influencer. We were not, the only people, I'm saying I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
If you've been in the industry for a while, when I first came in, only oil and gas execs, lawyers, and doctors were buying $1 million houses. Now, social media influencers are. So we had to identify what are the loan strategies and solutions that we were able to provide for these clients to be able to say, hey, this lender might not work with you because they're used to dealing with a more traditional loan. Now you got to find one. So diversifying your vendor list with lenders that can get the job done. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They're not able to have a solution-driven approach when they're working with their clients. And also, as we grow in the business, when I first started, a lot of my clients were first-time home buyers. As we progress, now a lot of my clients are transitional buyers. They're either downsizing, they're moving on up, or now they're saying, hey, I have my forever home, and now I just want to look into investment. So look into creating we sell a lot of duplexes. Okay, we know a lot of off-market duplex builders. Duplexes are one of the big things, but they also tie into our new construction, working with builders and developers, but it's also a great investment strategy. So those are kind of giving you all our secrets and all our lanes, but those are a big thing. And we also work with a lot of physicians, doctors, medical professionals, and because we have great lender partners that can serve that client's needs.
One of the true luxuries of having you on the show this week and being able to interview for our audience is because I think there's no one in the area that I think could be a better example on how to equally weigh marketing and promotion versus what you're doing on social media and what you're doing grassroots, boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. You have so much experience in real estate that you and your organization was up and active prior to social media, prior to COVID. You've been
Yeah.
seeing all the new people that came in during COVID, post social media. How do you illustrate the value of not only leveraging social media, but also those traditional boots on the ground marketing efforts that we've always had to do prior to TikTok and Instagram? Because I know you of all people have seen it from both sides. So what are some of the challenges as far as getting some of the new people and the new blood in your organization to understand that?
So, as you all know, my partner is social media guru Nicole Handy, okay? Mrs. Nikki Handy. So, let me tell you, she makes my job in recruitment very difficult because every agent that comes into the fold wants to be the next Mrs. Nikki Handy, okay? So, it's one of those, I'm like, hey, let me tell you, you're not going to work into our system if you don't understand and not willing to put in the work the other way. Now, I have seen the fruits of labor of a great social media strategy. So I don't turn down at all. But I'm not a one eggs in one basket kind of person. So it's a very difficult though. I'm going to be honest, trying to get people to understand that it's different ways to have a lucrative real estate career. I've been in the industry 13 years, and I'm not. I just started getting on social media because after this TV show, I kind of had to be, more front facing. But I've had a lucrative real estate career off just building my personal network, and so trying to have people to understand. And we talk about a strategy for that as well. Not saying everybody wants to really put in the effort for it, but it's how to nurture your, sphere of influence, how to nurture your raving fans, and that top 50. We use a top 50 strategy about, hey, if you don't want to be on social media, that's fine. We have another strategy about nurturing, the people that know, like, and trust you, and working the plan with those people as well. But it's hard. It is hard. People love social media. They love being in front of the camera. But the way that really taught us, because even us, I'm going to be transparent. If something is working good for you, you don't just let it go by the wayside. You can kind of lean heavy, lean more into it. And so that's what happened to us before. And what happened? We got locked out of our Facebook account at one time when we were putting a lot of money behind Facebook ads. When I say a lot, we were putting a lot. And our page got locked up, got reported, fraud, all kind of stuff associated with our page. And that was one of our largest income streams from a lead. And once that happened, we didn't get back into Facebook until it was almost about 3 to 6 months. And so we had to completely pivot and transition our business into working our, sphere of influence, the leads that we already had, and just being more intentional about nurturing our current leads and touching our database.
You mentioned how you've had to become more comfortable being more forward facing, especially with the success of the reality series. So for the members of our audience who may just now be putting two and two together and realizing that Rick's is talking to the lady for Family Empire Houston, I want to ask you this because before the show, I know you and Nikki work with some really important high net worth individuals who value privacy and anonymity in their real estate transactions. And as a real estate professional, of course, there's a certain amount of professional protocol that we understand, that title companies understand. But now that you're more forward facing while still being a professional, what type of challenges have come with you still doing business transactions with that same privacy and anonymity being of value?
Sorry about that. So can you hear me? You got me? Okay. Yeah, I know there definitely are challenges. Okay, I'm just gonna be real about that. But the challenges are very simple. I mean, they're not huge challenges that we've experienced because just because I might be forward facing, that doesn't mean that my process is. So we still work with clients, especially a lot of our clients are high net worth clients, that discernment, their anonymity, that level of professionalism is expected. And so we talk to each one of our clients about what level, how do they feel a lot of my clients, they do not like being on the camera. And I am perfectly okay with it as long as that check clears at the title from the title company. Okay. You do not have to be. uh, at all. But we talk to our clients though, like I stated earlier. Sorry, like I stated earlier, a lot of our clients are now transitioning to be influencers. So where before a lot of our clients were corporate execs, um, people that worked oil and gas industries, doctors, lawyers, from those traditional, um, you know those traditional occupations that you expect for a high net worth earner to come from, that might be a little bit more discreet. Now that our $1 million luxury home buyers are transitioning to be social media influencers, this home purchase is a part of their everyday content. So we have the conversation based on our clients, and that's a big part of being able to provide the service and the level of service we do, is that we talk to our clients and understand who they are, what they're comfortable with, and just come out and be like, hey, nobody has to even know you bought a house. Okay, it's my husband's a realtor, and sometimes he don't even know what clients I'm working with, because I understand the level of discretion that I have to have in order to maintain the level of integrity I want in my business.
There's so many members of our audience that are realtors, brokers, mortgage lenders, who's going to have an opportunity to see this interview. And one of the things that we talk about sometimes off the clock is how to build that empire, how to build that foundational structure that you have, generational wealth that's being created, not just for this generation, but for your kids and your kids' kids. So from that standpoint, I wanted to ask you is, professionally, with all the success that you've had as far as organizationally and the show, what do you do to maintain focus, to stay motivated? What are some of do you read? Is there certain audio tapes? What do you use, Ms. Goudeau, as a motivational factor to keep you going and keep you striving for success?
I spa.
Okay.
I spa. Like, it is nothing. I just like to close my eyes and relax. Let I tell you, podcasts, all that I do listen to. I listen to that when I'm driving. But as an entrepreneur, this, our brains don't stop. So when I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm listening to books, or sometimes my mind is still working and it doesn't give me the chance to sit in what I've just heard, because it's coming in. I'm already processing how I'm going to take this information and how I'm going to use the information. Okay. So reading those self-help books, but as I'm reading it, I'm always finding connections to my life. Even if I'm reading like a romance thriller, I'm like, oh, I can see how I could use this and implement this in my marriage, and try to find ways to be more spontaneous. Like, my mind is always going. And so my spa experiences, it's just that level of tranquility with no kids around. Okay. With no kids around, because I got 13-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So
So now this is the question.
Yeah.
Do you ever post from your spa of choice?
No.
You've never posted from that spa?
I have never posted. First of all, they usually make you lock up your phones. I usually lock up my phone in the locker. But no, I never post from there. First of all, I don't post much anyways. But I don't post much from there. Like, it's such a very private thing. And I don't believe in the social media. If you're not posting it, it's not happening. And I take that moment to be completely about Jermeshia. Like, I don't need you to know that I was at the spa. Like, that's completely personal.
Okay, the reason I was going to ask that question was because I was going to see if you feel comfortable giving a local shout out. But what we'll do
I can give a local
because
shout
I
out.
don't want to blow your spot up. Because I
Because
want your spot to stay your spot, right? So can you shout out one of your favorite out of town spas?
Oh my gosh, La
From a vacation spot or a hotel that you thought was really cool. We'll show some love out of town.
Yes. Who's it? La Cantera Spa in San Antonio.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
What was it about it that was particularly impressive?
It's on the hill. It's in the hill countryside of San Antonio, and so you can have a spa, and your view of the hill country is just so beautiful. And so I love natural, earthy scenery. So I love it. I just love it. I just love it. It's one of my favorites.
So now we got to clip this up and tag them
Yeah,
so that they show you love when you go back out there.
We gotta clip it and tag it, but no, absolutely. And my
Yeah.
favorite local spot is Trellis. I'll give you Trellis.
Oh wow, you gonna give it up to them? That's
I will give it up to them. It is one of my favorite local spots.
And where is that?
It's inside inside of the Houstonian.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm sure members of our audience will definitely write that down and keep that in mind if they're ever around the Houstonian. And think about all the people who stayed at the Houstonian but didn't go to the spot.
Oh, you gotta go. You gotta go. I've never stayed at the Houstonian, but that spot, yes, never stayed there.
And Ms. Goudeau, I want to thank you so much for your time because Larry and I joke so much how busy Thursdays are for business owners because usually that's everybody's getaway day for travel. So,
Fridays are mine. Don't actually do that on Fridays.
All right, thank you so much. But I want to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
For the members of our audience that have heard this interview and would just love to meet, greet, interact, and just be in display of your energy in person, when will that opportunity present itself?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Mr. Davis. So we have a great opportunity. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your podcast experience. But I am filming a live podcast on this Saturday at the Hive Houston from 12 to 4. I just dropped my podcast, Legacy in Bloom, with your host, Jermeshia Goudeau. And so we're going to be there. We're going to be having a great time. The podcast is a great opportunity for the kind of the women and some of the men in the room that are just trying to figure out this crazy thing called life. So it is there, but you can also, Brayton Real Estate Group is hosting our 3rd annual Derby Day at the Houston Polo Club on May 4th from 4 to 7. But it's a great scholarship opportunity to, we give a scholarship to Texas area college students to help pursue their education. So if you like Black and bougie, just like I do, this is a great opportunity for you to involve yourself. And if you've never been to the Houston Polo Club, it's a great experience. So come check us out.
Hey, you see, I was taking my notes. Get my social calendar together.
Get it together so you can catch it. If you want to get more information, you can check out Brayton Real Estate Group socials on IG or Facebook. You can reach out to me at jermeshiagoudeau.com or on IG, I'm Madam Broker, but on Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm Jermeshia Goudeau. So check out either one of those. Search me, look me up, and you can find me anywhere.
And look, I know you won't do it, so I will. I also want to invite everybody to go online, go on their TV, check out Family Empire Houston, check out back HBO episodes, Max any new episodes, anything.
Go to Max, check it out. Everybody said we represented Houston proud. That was one of the best compliments from a local Houstonian. Check out Family Empire Houston, Northside, where you're going to see a lot of it on the show. And I really appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
No, thank you so much, Queen. It was an honor and a pleasure. Anytime you would like to sit in with me, you always have a seat. Thank you so much. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Sounds great. It was nice to meet you. Nice to be here. Sorry. Nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Hey, that's it, man. I want to urge everyone in the audience, follow Ms. Goudeau on social media. If you're in the city of Houston, she invited you out to her event on Saturday, May 4th at the Polo Club, Houston, Texas. Let's put that on our social calendar as well. Big, huge shout out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, man, for helping to coordinate that interview, man. Great job as always. Big, huge shout out to our super producer, Jay Joseph, and everybody over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I urge everyone in the audience, if this is your first opportunity to check out the Prime Real Estate Network Live, we urge you all to like this episode, share, subscribe, become a part of the movement. Hey, look, my name is Rick Davis. You can follow me on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. As always, man, it's a great opportunity for me to not only interact with our audience, but to continue to serve the city of Houston to the best of my ability. Until next Thursday, when it's time for the Prime Real Estate Network Live, I urge everyone in the audience to please be safe and be blessed.